Hey, motherfuckers. This is Lock Zero, and I'm here with my bro.
Yo, it's Rev. What's up, you bitches?
That's a good way to introduce yourself to everybody.
I
Um,
love bitches. Bitches are great.
yes,
Just
exactly.
gonna be positive.
So yeah, we're doing a read through and review for chapter 993, One Piece, and here we go. So yeah, we're starting off with the cover, the 50 million page of this beige cover story, pound cover story. We got Lola and Gotti are tying the knot. So she finally got her husband. I wonder, I wonder since Frankie, she was up to 444, I think. So I wonder like what number she's up to now of failed marriage proposals. But yeah.
Oh, maybe she got to like 1,000 before she got to him. Like, I mean, how does this guy feel? Like, yo, you asked 1,000, man, and they said no. But everybody seems to be happy. Even the baby is dancing, dangerous, but what you gonna do?
Yeah,
I think.
exactly. That's like the first thing I noticed too. I'm like, so what's going on with that, man? Like that's a very precarious situation for that baby.
It's all love though, so it's
Yeah.
all good. I think this is a little bit more significant though, just because I know we know Nami and Lolo's relationship. So I think this
Mm,
signifies that their alliance with the Beige Gang, is pretty complete. Like it's not gonna like be in a situation where Beige is gonna be up against Luffy anymore. I feel like this firmly puts him on the side of like the Straw Hat Pirates for whatever situations may come up in the future. Maybe not like a permanent alliance, but like they get themselves in a situation where it's like they like a bunch of pirates have to team up and fall under the
mm.
same umbrella. I think this shows that Beige is going to come back and either be a part of that or they're going to be happy because I can't see that Luffy and Lola not meeting up again. I feel like that's just like a destined to happen at this point.
Hmm. I'm not sure if
Power of
they'd meet
friendship.
up, but yeah, I do definitely agree. This kind of puts aside any possible contention in the future, given how much they're Lola and Chiffon are bonded to
Yeah.
Straw Hat Crew. So
Or it could be a situation where they need their help and like they're in a dire circumstance or like the crew is like, but I don't know. There's so many ways you could go with it, but I think this firmly shows, yeah, Straw Hat side all day.
yeah, and I don't remember their individual names, but I'm pretty sure those two are called the Risky Brothers. Um, do you remember the names by any chance?
I do not. I would remember them. No.
Okay. All right.
Not even slightly. All
But
right.
they're the ones who are the squirrels on
No,
Moria's
I remember
crew.
the
Okay.
the arc. I remember the arc, but I just can't remember their actual names. There's so many
Okay.
characters. Yeah.
All right. So we got this first page here. We see we're going to the flower capital, and we got Fweedle D sound effects in the background. The night of the Grand Fire Festival. Giahaha. And we got this person who's performing uh, on fire, I think, or something, or moving like they have a stick with like smoke and fire on it. They're waving around.
Yeah. It's like fire dancing. It looks like with the guy with the kabuki mask or the demon mask. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I guess this actually threw me for a loop. I was like, what is going on at first? Like, is this like I thought it was a flashback at first, so it kind
Uh,
of like took me for a moment. But I'm like, oh, okay, this is just the present, and everybody just at this grand party, and I guess it's gonna like be symbolic of their dreams coming true as the day ends. But
mm,
but here we have like just everybody like going through the motions. On our left side, you see by the Kozuki samurai one day, a legend that seemed plausible enough to support their faith. So this 20-year legend is the only thing that's apparently keeping this entire nation from suiciding themselves. Pretty crazy. Um, this guy is so depressed. Like he's like, this is my one sip of alcohol. My life is a lie.
yeah, and yeah, they're all lamenting the fact that Orochi's blowing everything. And one thing I want to note with this balloon or whatever this float is, everybody keeps saying like, "Oh, it's Odin." It's not. It's not Odin.
Odin's
It's
dead. Let him go. He's
well,
gone.
no. I'm not saying it's literally Odin, but it's not a statue of Odin. It's not a figure of Odin. It's it's that deity that Hyogoro was referring to when he looked at Luffy, and he was saying, "Oh, he reminds me of that deity." Like that's what it's based off of. Especially with
Although,
the palm thrust. That's how
yeah,
Luffy is.
I got you. But I do see some features of Odin in this now that I'm looking at it, like very very faint images. I guess the eyes and the set of the mouth maybe.
Yeah.
That could be just be like looking too much into it, but Yeah, so everybody's drinking and crying. Looks like a really sad party. Then we go to the next page. Um, and everybody is fantasy wishing their leader's death. Crazy talk, man. Um, and yeah, looks like everybody
Yeah,
has a
if
strangely
only
prosthetic vision.
if only we weren't in a similar scenario right now. But
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about
but
like,
let's not let's leave it at that.
yeah. And man, the people are like they're talking about like how water is their luxury on this particular day. What are they drinking the rest of the year? Sewage water? How are they alive? This doesn't make
Yeah, I don't
any
know.
sense. Oh my god. All
And we
right,
got
so we go down. And they're dancing. They're enjoying themselves. Like fuck. This is our day. This is our one day. Let's do it.
yeah, and they're
All
just
right.
glad that he's not around, and they know that at least they have this one day of safety, and they don't have to be concerned with Orochi just randomly killing somebody or hurting somebody on his whim or whatever. All right, so we got the next page, just back to Onigashima, and there's a bunch of people running all over the place. I'm not 100% sure who's who here. Not who's who, but if these are actual Kaido soldiers or if these are some of the samurai who are still like using the Kinemon's powers with the to disguise themselves as Kaido soldiers.
Yeah.
But we
No,
got
I think
these.
I think the disguises are all done at this point. These look like actual Kaido's forces, and he just it just seems like Queen just like whatever. These guys don't matter, so I'm gonna unleash this ice demon plague, which is actually pretty crazy sounding. I have no idea how they came up with the thought process for that, but that's sick as hell. And Caesar Clown is just crazy. A top 5 character. I mean, like he's great. Like all the crazy shit he's come up with, insane.
I don't think Caesar Clown is responsible for this though. I think this is all Queen. I like the gas that Jack used on Zoe is Caesar, but
You don't think this isn't
Queen.
Caesar as well?
Nah,
No.
nah. I think this is Queen's invention.
So Queen's just a super scientist supreme then. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What did he need Don Flamingo and Caesar for? Like, bro, this is crazier than the smile fruits. What are you talking about? An army of this? I'd piss my pants if I saw this happen to me and my soldiers. Yeah.
And we got Zoro, who's like, "What's that?" And then X Drake's, that was Queen. It really is a plague. And we can see like they spread the frost demon by biting down
like a zombie. Yeah, like a zombie bite. Like literally.
Yeah, it's
wow.
like it's like the other plague bullets, except instead of incapacitating people, this is using them as your own force. So the other one was called Mummy, right? The Excite Bullet Mummy, I want to say.
I can't be 100% sure. I have to go back and check on that. I want to say yes, and no, and they could build for it. But we see Queen close the doors every time before it's finished. His shining jewel of his playgrounds. So there are other playgrounds that he has, I guess, that could have done other things. I said besides the mummy, I wonder if he's gonna break any more out. Like he'll have like a super one for like an actual big time fight. Might cause like I feel like that's kind of set up for like a Chopper style fight then. Like I feel like Chopper would be like the one who could actually handle like that diverse weaponry. Other than that, I don't know, like besides Luffy who has an immunity to poison, like who like he couldn't like get a high level off of. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm making a note about that. I do want to bring that up later. But yeah, so now we have this panel. This has been a very thoroughly used mechanic in One Piece world, where you get the outlay of the area they're in and the levels or the areas that they have to traverse to get to the big baddie. We saw this in Dressrosa. I'm sure we've seen it in other places too. Yeah, pretty much.
They did a little bit in what was it? Punk Hazard 2, like showing where they were on the island and all that stuff.
all the different areas of the facility and how they had to go and where the danger was coming from, et cetera, et cetera. So this
and we see Luffy tearing a hole through all of the forces again on the B1 floor. Side note, apparently he gets caught in the face by Sanji. How did his hockey not predict that?
Well, I mean, Luffy's I think is more based on like emotions and feelings. So it's not like he's coming across as he's trying to threaten him. It's more like trying to protect him. I wouldn't think it would set off his spider senses and, put him on edge to be like, I'm in danger right now. But yeah, Sanji puts his hand on his face, which I think is a little unnecessary, but you know, whatever. And we see him do his party table kick course. Like he's breakdance kicking everybody.
Dance fire flame fight.
And then we got this headliner Briscola, swearing
Ridiculous. Oh my
revenge
god.
with his fucking sock'em rock'em robot hand.
Gorilla hand. What is
Sock'em
this?
boppers, sock'em boppers.
And he goes, okay. Okay, so he has a gorilla on his hand. Sure. I mean, it's One Piece, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna just okay. Even Luffy is like, this isn't cool at all. Like, what did you come up? So I don't know. I thought he was gonna be a joke, like Briscoe. Like, even though he's like a headliner, like, I don't see him as like the crew like would have a problem with him. But as we see, he immediately starts throwing some jabs. Pow, 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 shwoom, shwoom, shwoom. That's how a punch sounds as it's thrown. And he lays one serious punch that Sanji has to dodge, and even makes a comment of, so I guess it would have like sent him flying if it actually had connected.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. Like, does he have one of his arms wrapped around Sanji's leg? Is that what's going on there?
No, Sanji just jumped up and he brings his legs up.
But like, it looks like like I see the gorilla's arm. It looks like it's like he's grabbing Sanji's leg, like it's in the crook of his elbow.
No, he's doing like a sweeping like punch that's coming across, and it's just clearing the space. And then Sanji's just jumping up, and his legs are in the air, like with him, like he's like crouching in the air,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can see like the shadow of both his legs are there, like having dodged it. Mm-hmm. But keep going down. Luffy, of course, getting distracted, trying to like get all the XP and destroy every single bad guy. And they're like, no, you're already powerful enough. You're going to get the double XP bonus if you get there faster. And Luffy's like, that's ridiculous. I want to clear this whole floor. No, but so they get the Fishman Karate, the interruption, and Jinbei just knocks this guy out in one punch like, I don't know what either of them should have done. But, he makes his little arrival to the scene looking all dapper. Luffy, Sanji, I figured I would find you here. And Luffy is happy as a kid in a candy store to see his new best friend there.
Yeah. And then, of course, Sanji is being salty about this, like he is towards everybody. Yeah, and then Jinbei's playing it off pretty cool. This is the best thing to do when somebody's angry with you. Just don't lose your cool, stay super calm, and just like, oh, okay. And that'll really get under their skin. Jinbei's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like he thought it was gonna be like a Zoro kind of playoff where he'd get angry back at him. He's like, I'm 50 years old, dog. I don't got time. And he's actually listening to Sanji's advice, and it looks like Sanji's like respecting him, his battlefield abilities, like kind of clearly diagnosing what's going on and how to plan an attack. All right, we go to the next page, and we see the Cheshire's cat weird cousin observing what's going on, I guess, in the camera mode. And we see Yamamoto chasing Monosuke and the female ninja. I can't remember her name right now. And,
Shinobu.
I don't want to say Shinobi, but yeah. So more cameras. Okay, I guess this is like the head camera lady. I guess it's her devil fruit.
Yeah, this is Bao Huang. She's Kaido's secretary. But I'm pretty sure she's a subordinate of Who's Who. Like he has like a cat thing going on, and I think they were like all grouped together. So, I think he's and he also he has that same symbol on his chest. So yeah, she's surveillance lady, and she's reporting here to King.
And I gotta say, pointing out King, the most competent person I've ever seen on the pages of One Piece, correctly diagnoses the battlefield situation, how to like neutralize it in about 2 seconds. So kudos to King for having an actual brain in this.
Yeah, 100%.
Telling his forces, rallying them, telling, diagnosing it like, oh, what's the easiest thing? Oh, kill Momonosuke. They won't want to fight no more. That's most of the battle forces. It's just the pirates. Pretty smart. Pretty fucking smart. So, he gets his guys under the line like in 2 seconds. tells him exactly what to do, and calls it out, calls the play, tries to alley-oop. And this guy who was tied up to the tree, comes back. What's his name?
Sasaki.
Saki comes back. I don't see him in the next panel. I thought he was just gonna like do some monster attack, but they just blow up, Shinobu and throw a bunch of swords at her. You can see there's a big explosion and it's rocked her. Another attack is coming. She turns around, and sure enough, she takes about a bunch of arrows to the knees and chest and back and head, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. And
she's pretty messed up. She got some blood running down her mouth. And Momonosuke's concerned, and we see Yamato's confused with what's happening. And Sasaki's like, yo, get out of my face. And then we got one of the seven dwarfs over here with, it took me a second to understand what's going on with this guy, but apparently his bottom half is like a tortoise. At least that's what I'm interpreting it as. And Shinobu is telling Momonosuke to run. He's wondering, like, is that even what he should do? He's supposed to be the boss. Is that the right call for him to just try to save himself? But Yamato makes this a moot point and just fucking one hit KOs. One punch! And he's out.
That turtle dick guy. I saw his head look and I'm like, what is that? Why do you have your whole junk just hanging out up the turtle? And then Simone was saved, and we see this freaky collection of armor division. That crab lady, oh my god, that's gonna give me nightmares on the left. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's pretty free. At first I thought like, oh, maybe there's like some kind of like nautical thing going on since he's like Sasaki's a fishman. But then because I was like, okay, she's a crab person. And then this guy I don't know if he's supposed to be a porcupine or maybe he's a sea urchin. But but we got like, the stag beetles,
the beetle,
and then the rhino. Yeah. So, I guess not. They're just heavily fortified individuals. Yeah. And also that guy was...
What's that forearm guy supposed to be in the corner?
The forearm? What, the guy with the guns? I thought you meant like forearm, like his forearm and...
What's up with large forearms, man? Overly grown forearms.
I'm guessing he's another kind of beetle because it looks like he's like, I think it's like a triceratops beetle or something because he has the three horns. That's my guess.
Yeah, I didn't catch that third one. Yeah, I just saw the two hooking around. I thought he was just like wearing a, Kaido like kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, props to the big guys. It's like a look thing.
This guy was dealing with Zoro before when they first came up, and they were saying like, oh, he was just trying to discourage him and all this shit. So I'm curious as to why Zoro didn't take this guy out.
I feel like Zoro was kind of trying to keep it a low key. He didn't like actually like take anybody out that we know he could have, right? I'm assuming in a straight fight. He got in a couple of scraps, where he probably should have won, but for some reason he just kind of delayed it, and wasn't trying to do a big thing about it. So I don't know. Overall, I'd say he's kind of like not underwhelmed, but just like not had his big moments. I guess you could say he's underwhelmed.
All right, then we got Sasaki. He's like, oh, so you intend to interfere with this, young Master Yamato? And then she's declaring her alliance for the Kozuki. So
still like to understand why, but I mean, asking that question feels like open invitation for 6 more weeks of flashback chapters. I really don't want to see so.
She touched on it briefly. She saw the execution. She saw who he was as a person. I guess she was just enamored with him, and couple that with Kaido not being probably the nicest father. Not connected to that.
But Odin was alive though. The diss record he dropped on Kaido. Your daughter don't even like you. She want to be me. But yeah, go.
We got the top of the Skull Dome. We're back to the Kaido versus the Scabbards fight, and they're trying to say like, "Yo, let's wrap this up." Sever his windpipe, stop his breathing, and it's fighting over until his head is severed. And then Kaido starts his little speech. In your spirits, I saw the visage of Kozuki Odin. I could have let you kill me. With each drop of my scar, I remember. But you people are not Odin. You will never see a monster samurai of his like again. And he's just like, yeah, you're not it, man. Sorry, guys.
It was a good try. I mean, I got a good nap there for like a second, but I mean, you barely scratched me, is what he's saying at the end of the day. doing his little sit-up, Undertaker lift
Yeah, yeah,
unconscious kind of
exactly.
thing.
Exactly what I was thinking. Like this is gonna be pretty cool when they animate this. It's gonna be a very epic moment, him like roiling up and just like, you know, putting it out there. It is too shallow. You don't even have enough power to open up the old scar.
So I guess we were correct with our prediction or what we said. Yeah, like all four of them combined weren't even enough to match the level of damage he did the first time on him. So
Yeah, I
pretty
mean
telling.
to be fair, I am also sure Kaido is stronger than he was,
Yeah.
20 years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty much the implication.
I think Kaido just gets stronger as he goes on for some reason. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seemed like there was a reason why Odin wanted, or why he wanted to delay the fight with Odin for 6 months. I think that window somehow gave him, like enough time to build up power. And that could
Mhm.
be like an off theory, but I do think maybe it's gonna like reveal that the older Kaido gets, the stronger he becomes, or something. I don't know, which is crazy because
Possibly,
that
yeah.
would mean that he's like even stronger than he was 20 years ago, and Odin was on the level of a Whitebeard and a Roger, kind of not like at their level, but like like could hang with them at least.
Yeah, he gets more powerful by diverting all his muscles from his legs to the rest of his body.
Yeah,
He definitely skips leg day. But
bro,
yeah,
top heavy. All right.
he's just saying you cannot do it. He's preparing what seemingly going to be another Boral breath, but he
Yeah.
flips a script. He throws out some wind scythes here, and
Which is
Denji,
crazy. That's the hot breath of all hot breath, bro.
and then Denji goes like invisible slashes, and yeah, Kiku gets her arm chopped off. And
Holy crap.
Hizu and
Yeah.
Kinemon are not happy about this. I mean, it's also slightly confusing. These, I mean, with the wind blast, they look like they're vertical slices. Maybe there's just a whole big mixture of like things, but like,
Oh, it looks like it's coming straight on. Yeah, like it looks like I think it's just like the wide space angle. If you think about it, like they would if you were to like imagine it, like I guess it's like we're behind them, but it's also like a tunnel going inwards in that image. Like if you understand what I'm saying, where it's like they're not that close together. It's just the framing of it makes it look like they're not coming at you like straight. Like it doesn't look like I think I never saying where they're coming out like sideways or curved. I think they're just coming straight at him.
yeah,
It's just
which then begs the question: how did the wind slices cut off her arm and cut the sword? Like when you're guarding like that, it's like directly in front of you. So I'm not sure. I mean, who
yeah,
knows? I guess I'm just thinking about it too hard. But the point is, her arm got chopped off.
yeah.
So, and then I have
Bye
about the
bye to that
sad.
arm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the chapter, and I also think that is the signal for the beginning of the defeat of the Scabbards. We're gonna probably
Yes.
see them
I think they're
taken
gonna be
down
washed
one
in
by
a
one.
chapter. I think it's gonna be just one chapter of just like page after page that's just getting like murked or just really badly hurt.
I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty much like one chapter, one scabbard, or maybe one or two scabbards. Like gets taken out of commission. We got 7 chapters left until chapter 1000. So
I mean, yeah, but I do think he's also gonna play with some other fights and set that up too. Because I feel like by 1,000 it'll be like Luffy setting up, versus Kaido. Maybe not like them beginning their fight, but like how they always have like multiple fights occurring simultaneously. And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen by like the time we get to 1,000, where it's like all the fights are set, and then we're gonna go into those individual battles, and then by the time we get back, they're just like either they're gone or he does it in one chapter, and then it's like on
yeah.
to the next thing.
I'm not even sure if he'll make it up there by chapter 1000. Like usually when we get this sequence of this is the layout of the land and this is where these are the floors you have to traverse. If there's 6 levels and he's like on level 2 right now, you know what I mean? Like he still
He
has like
also
4 more levels to climb through.
we're also assuming that Kaido's just gonna stay there. Like he could just come
Yeah.
crashing down and like because he also does that too, like where he has moments where like things just suddenly shift and like the battlefield's just like flipped around. So that could also be a possibility too. I
Yeah.
think he just shows that just like as a reference, like at this moment in time, that's where they are. So
Yeah.
they don't necessarily have to like. I mean, Luffy has gunpowder. He's freaking up to the highest tower in 1 second. I don't know why he's taking stairs. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I guess he got discouraged when he tried that the first time, and King and his flying people, decided to put the kibosh on that. So he's like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll take the stairs. No elevator. All right, let's go. So, you know, yeah, that I think that's the plan at hand. But so far, we've seen Kaido use fire, we've seen him use lightning, and now we've seen him use wind. So I think it's almost a pretty sure thing he has command of all the elements. Do you think it's likely he'll use some kind of water attack?
I don't think so.
No,
Just
no hydro
because
pump.
no, I don't think he learns that move. I don't think he has the egg move for that.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's gonna be fire, wind, and lightning. I guess I think those are gonna be the because I can't seem to do an earth attack.
I mean,
That's
he
ridiculous.
could, because that's actually I think I could kind of see a line of action for that because Sabo did that thing with the dragon claw where he shattered the grain of the arena and the Coliseum in Dressrosa, and like he dug his claws into the floor and like
But
pushed
that's like
like
a
his.
that's a physical attack. That's not like an
Yeah,
earth style
but
attack.
I mean he's not. I don't think Kaido's gonna like shoot rocks out of his mouth, but at the same time
Yeah.
like
Imagine he
I
fires
could
shit
see
out of his
him.
ass. That's like bullets. Crystalline shit attack. Humiliating way to go out. But I mean,
I could see him kind of like ripping up the earth and doing some kind of like Hulk smash, throw like rip up the ground and throw it at you kind of thing,
yeah.
you know. Um, so yeah, but Kaido's very versatile and he has a lot of crazy shit going on here. The wind scythe thing I would have never expected.
That was a
That
pretty crazy moment, just like taking out one of the guys' arm like that.
yeah.
It's like, you think you know power? Check out this.
Yeah, that's a pretty point. That's a pretty significant attack to just send out, slices that like things that can just slice off body parts and stuff. Like I'm wondering if high armament users would be able to deal with that. Like it would like still damage them, but not to the degree of removing a limb.
Yeah, like other like little slashes or cuts. Like depending on how strong your hockey would be, that would make sense to me.
It's
Um,
basically like he's using Destructo Disc right now. So you know. But yeah, one thing I did want to talk about was you mentioned before with Queen and the plague bullets, and obviously how this relates to Chopper. Chopper needs some kind of feats. He hasn't really taken out a major player in in any significant amount of time. It'd be cool to see him do something to counter or deal with this issue, or deal with Queen in general. Queen seems to have a very indirect way of fighting, So
I mean,
this,
he's a smart fighter. Like he did manage to neutralize Big Mom for a moment. Like so.
yeah,
Hats off to him.
yeah. So I personally like to see Sanji take Queen on,
Mm-hmm.
just for the fact that I think it would be an interesting fight, like a battle of wits kind of thing, and he has to figure out how to counter and deal with these issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's some potential there. But yeah, any other points of interest that you wanted to discuss?
Just for me, my MVP is absolutely King. Just for again, having brains on this freaking manga. Being the only person who's like, oh, okay, in 5 minutes I can figure out the battle, assess the situation, come up with a good strategy, and get his forces to work for him, like and do it efficiently. Like it's good to have a competent enemy. It makes the stakes that much higher. Like if they're just breezing through, it's like, oh, whatever. But this isn't a joke. Like they got some players here, which is great. Like this is
Yeah.
a real intense fight.
No,
And
you have to be a Yonko to have somebody who's competent enough to call these kind of plays. Otherwise, you're just
yeah,
dealing with the scraps of the One Piece world. Because apparently, nobody else has the foresight to think of these kind of things. But yeah, King's on point. King's on top of things, and you know,
yeah. And
calling the shots.
I will say, Momo, like not running away too. Another character growth moment, which I think is going to be very essential for him. It may even play into this arc, just because I think that voice thing is going to come into effect. I don't know if like Zoe is going to show up to the battlefield and he'll like use it to kind of like crush the island or something. That would be a cool moment for him and be like, you know what, you want to mess with me? Look, all of you, like, get off my land. It would be cool to see, like, him being the shogun and leading Wano, because it's like, how do you, like, have a kid run the country? Like, you need strength, and everybody's like obsessed with strength almost in Wano, and
Yeah,
especially during this
I
arc.
can actually, I can
So
actually kind of see a scenario where it looks like everybody's pretty much defeated, and then like Momonosuke saves the day by having like Zunisha show up and just kind of like wipe the field, and it gives
yeah,
everybody an opportunity to like regather and collect themselves, and then like enter the fray once again with like a more thorough understanding of their enemies and what
yeah.
they're capable of and shit. So who knows? Maybe that's what's gonna happen with him.
Or maybe he takes out like a fleeing Orochi. That would be cool, like kicking him out of the country and being like, "No, this is our land again. Get the hell out of here." Or it's
Yeah.
symbolic. The whole country sees it, and it's like, "Oh, our shogun sent the crazy psycho leader flying."
Mm.
But who knows? Because I mean, I did think you had an interesting idea about the redemption of Orochi, but I don't know if I particularly dig that. But we'll see.
Redemption of Orochi.
Yeah, because like weren't you saying earlier, like his whole thing is that like he's been treated with hate and violence and this and
Oh
that
yeah,
growing
I don't.
up.
I'm not. I hope you didn't think I'm implying he's gonna change his character, but um, the point that I was just trying to make was like it's they mentioned all the stuff that he had to deal with growing up and the persecution he felt, and it's like what do you expect him to turn into, like with all these people trying to kill him all the time and kill his family and stuff. Like of course he's going to become bitter and resentful, and then he's continuing the cycle. He's trying to do the same thing that was done to him to not only all of Wano but particularly the Kozuki clan, which he feels is responsible for the pain and suffering he experienced. And then it's like you know what's Momonosuke going to do? He's going to continue the same thing and then just like
Yeah, I think
you
he's
know
gonna end up sparing him and being like showing like, oh, I'm a good leader. Like I'm not just dealing with violence and like I'm
yeah.
gonna do what I think is right. I don't know, but we'll see. Well, I have big hopes for Momo. Let's see what becomes of that. Or maybe
Yeah,
the sister just shows up and he's like, "Remember when you tried to kill me and slice? I forget about that, you bitch."
yeah.
Yeah,
They're like carting him off to jail, and then she shows up. She's like, "Nah, I'm not as nice as my brother. You're done."
yeah. Um, oh, and then my third note, I love how he left a little note at the end. There will be a chapter next week. Like, don't worry, I got you guys. It's gonna be good. Like, I feel like that was a cool little, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Left me on a hopeful little vibe. Despite that crazy ending, with an arm flying off. That's not how arms are supposed to go.
yeah. Oh, and I have to say, my favorite person in the armored division was the porcupine guy. I think he's hilarious.
He seems super creepy to me. I wouldn't want him anywhere near me. Him and that. I mean, this is all just like a nightmare fuel for me, honestly. This entire, but especially the two on the left. The porcupine is not as bad as the spider crab lady of death.
Yeah,
That I don't know what they were thinking, but the porcupine guy seems like he'd be friends with Michael Jackson. I don't know. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding.
He's just like, "Hi, what you
I need,
doing?"
I need an adult.
I am an adult. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on the chapter overall?
I will give it a 8. Yeah, 8.5. Yeah, I'm pretty solid with that. Even though the last chapter was this before this, I more or less gave the same rating.
Mm,
I like this one more or less at the same degree, just in a different kind of way.
mm,
I felt the action was good, the progression was good. I didn't feel like they were just dragging their feet, which is what I
mm,
feel like has been happening with a lot of the previous chapters. Like it's just like, oh my god, get to the point already. Like, come on, let's move on. There's
yeah.
still a good balance of plot development and action, so I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
What do you rate it?
Me, I would say an 8. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as the last one, just because that four saber like slash they did gave me chills. Like that was like a great panel. Not to say that Kaido rising from the depths of
of Hades.
exactly. He's like, with the fires of Hades surrounding me, I ascend. But no, still really good stuff. I think there was a couple of beats they could have done better. Like I didn't need the beginning where they were talking about the festival. I think like they've kind of established the mood in Wano enough that it felt like almost repetitive to me at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what then? Yeah, that is valid. I'll knock it down to 7.5 for that, because that is a very valid point. It wasn't really necessary. Didn't add much.
But the ice demon thing, ice zombie thing was pretty cool. So that was a pretty crazy moment. Did he lose points for the gorilla?
His Sakamaka robot, man.
Scola. Like, did everybody just laugh when that power developed? They're like, "All right, you're ridiculous." It's like, who takes it seriously? Oh my god, surprise monkey! It must be like really fun at parties. But and then I really enjoyed King just stepping up and just being awesome, just being confident as hell. Looking forward to this Yamamoto versus what's his name again?
Sasaki.
Sasaki. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's literally on his chair. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I really want to see what Kaido's kid can do. It seems like he one-shotted one member of the armored division. I don't know, he wasn't expecting it, but at the same time, it's still...
I mean, she one-shotted ulti, and I mean, she did get up fairly quickly, but if it would have been like a fight where they're actually continuing, she probably would have pummeled her into oblivion, so I'm sure she's gonna deal with Sasaki pretty well. I mean, I will say this, I'm guessing he has a Triceratops fruit, considering he's also the armored division guy. I can kind of see it going that way. And maybe that extra armor will make him a very, very, very durable person, and the attacks that would normally wash other enemies in one hit, he could probably deal with on a because he has that fortification with the scales and the head shield and all that stuff.
Yeah, good stuff there. And then we can go to the end where we see Kaido again, and I love this. Kaido showing why he's the MVP of One Piece, the most valuable beast. Just tearing people apart with his hot breath. And here we go. This is the counter move that I was calling, and I think it's just gonna. I think it's gonna take short work. Like now that he has to step up to that next degree, he's gonna get there, and he's just gonna wash him. And he was just taking them for granted earlier, and now he respects their strength, and he's gonna give them what they like what they really wanted, which was a fight with Kaido, and it ain't always fun coming against the king. So I see bad things for them there. Someone or a couple of them are gonna die. It looks like, as long as Ino and Neko don't die, though. That's all I want. I don't want the people from Zoe to die. The Minks, I love the Minks. So as long everybody else can go. No, I'm kidding. But I do think that some people are about to drop, and Kaido's gonna smack some bitches' heads off.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it. It's gonna be a wrap. Thanks for joining us on a little discussion.
Appreciate it.
Again, anybody you got questions, comments, drop them down below. We will make time to discuss them if that's what you want. And have a good week. Peace.
Hey, you guys.